Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if it is your first time checking us out. Today, we're gonna talk about the homeless situation in Colorado Springs. We get a lot of comments about this, so we're gonna tell you all about it right now.
So I am originally from Dallas, Texas. Obviously, that's a major metroplex. So we definitely had a homeless problem in Dallas. But I think it was kind of similar to how it is here. Like,
Okay.
I mean, just right around downtown Dallas and,
Yeah.
South Dallas, which is not the best area, there was a lot more homeless people there.
Okay, and you've been here, how long have you been in Colorado Springs for?
3 years.
So 3 years, so you're kind of seeing, it's a lot different now than it was 10 years ago, but I think that's why, I think you've got great perspective on it because you haven't been here for 20 years or whatever.
Right.
So you're kind of seeing just, from, I guess, through the lens of just a couple years. And so compared to Dallas, you think it's better, worse?
I mean, there's probably more homeless people in Dallas just because it's such a big city,
Big metroplex, right? Yeah.
And I mean, I live in Old Colorado City. I'm 2 minutes from downtown.
Right,
So
yeah.
I definitely see a lot of homeless people. I live on Colorado. Don't come say what's up, but I do live on Colorado. And last week we were in Winter Park and there was like a blanket in front of my house and some trash from a homeless person. And occasionally in the middle of the night I'll hear a homeless person wailing. So, hope they're okay. But, I do tend to see a lot more homeless activity just where I'm at. But I think in areas like, Cimarron Hills or Black Forest where we're at right now, you're really not going to see a whole lot of homeless people.
I think that's a big insight is it's very, I guess, localized is what I would say. And here, I'll kind of give you my perspective having been here for, 17 years now or whatever. The homeless situation in Colorado Springs, I personally don't feel that it's any quote unquote worse as far as the number of people that you see out. I do think that the city's made a lot of moves there's pros and cons to everything, right? So we're not going to debate that, but just the city's made a lot of efforts to kind of minimize the homeless population as far as, like panhandling from that aspect. It used to be you go downtown Colorado Springs 10 years ago, and man, like every street corner you were getting hit up. There's like panhandlers all over the place. But now they've outlawed panhandling in Colorado Springs. So downtown, even outside of the downtown area, man, you used to see it at like Woodland and Academy, a major intersection in town. You'd see panhandlers out there, and it's like 4 lanes all directions or whatever. But you don't see that anymore since they put that that ordinance in place. So I think that's made a really big difference. They've done some other things, kind of trying to relocate some homeless camps and things of that nature. But one thing I do want to say, compared to 10 years ago, I think the city has done a really good job for adding programs and support systems, if you will, for the homeless population. Now, like I said, I'm not going to debate all this stuff, but I do know just factually, because my wife and I support an organization downtown that tries to help homeless people, that there's a lot of folks that are homeless that they just don't want to take the help and assistance. So I think that kind of, is why you see a lot of it in certain parts of town. But compared to 10 years ago, I don't feel that it's any worse. I feel that it's just different now. And honestly, because of the panhandling aspect of it, it's not as noticeable, I guess. Just day to day, as the average person walking around Colorado Springs, you just don't feel it as much. But it's definitely there, 100%. So I think that probably leads to the next thing, different parts of town.
Yeah.
So you mentioned OCC. What other parts of town do you kind of, I guess, notice it more or don't notice it at all?
Downtown for sure. That Fountain Creek, which runs right along town there. There's a homeless camp, about every 100 feet there.
Right. Yeah.
But I would say those are the 2 main areas. Even in Manitou, I don't really see a whole lot of homeless activity. And then obviously as you get out into the suburbs, Briargate, Northgate, Cimarron Hills, those areas, you're really not going to see a whole lot of homeless activity.
Yeah. I was reading a news article the other day, and it's talking about, there's actually this part of, it's down off of Drennan Academy, Hancock Expressway, so kind of the south central part of Colorado Springs, I would call it. But there's a big section of land, I think it's about 20 acres or so, and a developer's going to develop affordable housing. So they're going to kind of, they've got a big plan for it. The city's helping support it with tax dollars, that kind of thing. But right now, it's almost like this wooded area in part of south, like I said, south central Colorado Springs. But I drove by there the other day. It's just a part of town I don't really get to. It's kind of some more industrial stuff back in there. So there is really, unless you live there, there's not a lot of, you're not really driving through there. There's not a thoroughfare or anything. But I was down in that part of town and I noticed like that treed area down there, it was like tent city in there. So I almost feel like a lot of the homeless encampments that you saw, even more so along Fountain Creek, have just kind of moved to other parts of the city. There was another thing that just happened. It's probably been, I don't know, maybe a month ago now, but there was a big fire that was started in Stratmore Hills, which is, south side of town. There was just a vacant lot, had never been built on. Apparently the landowner gave one guy permission to stay there to kind of put a tent up there, and it turned into this big encampment. And they accidentally started a fire and almost burnt down some houses. So obviously the neighborhood got pretty up in arms about that. And they went in, they had to kind of remove those folks. So you just see it in different parts of town now versus like concentrated like one, like you said, there's still definitely homeless encampments along Fountain Creek, but not like it used to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. It's different parts of town. And then, like you mentioned, there's like parts of town like you just don't even notice it at all. Like every big city, I guess, probably.
For sure. Yeah. Exactly.
What do you think as far as like compared to other similar sized cities? Like you mentioned Dallas, which is actually a good bit, obviously a lot bigger than Colorado Springs. How do you feel it compares to like other similar sized cities? Because we're like 600,000 people right now.
Yeah.
So,
right. I mean, okay, so I'm going to use two examples. So Austin, Texas is around a similar size as Colorado Springs. And the homeless problem there has actually gotten like really bad. And I don't want to say whatever.
Yeah, right, yeah. You guys know what we're trying to say.
Yeah, for sure. But they have, like right around the state capitol, there's a homeless camp that literally goes around the Capitol building.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then they've got the river that runs through town. What can I not remember? Is it the Colorado River? I can't remember. Anyways, but there's a nice little section of park that has turned into an entire homeless camp. And then also the homeless people there, the homeless people here are like actually really nice. I've talked to several of them and they're all really cool. Never had any homeless people come up to me and like make me feel uncomfortable or follow me or something like that. But the homeless people in Austin are like really aggressive.
Just more aggressive. Okay.
Yeah. My cousin went to UT and she like would get followed by homeless people walking back from the bars or something at night.
I definitely haven't had that happen here.
No,
for sure. Yeah,
definitely not. And then I know in like big cities like Austin or LA, for example, which obviously is a much bigger city than Colorado Springs, but they will they'll try to clean your windshield.
Okay. Yeah.
And like I don't mind if I've got some spare change, I'm gonna throw you some spare change. You don't need to come clean my windshield.
Right.
Yeah. But compared to other big cities, I would really say, I mean, even Denver. Colorado Springs has really got a good hold on the situation. There's lots of resources available to homeless people here.
Right, yeah.
And they've just improved a lot. Even since I've been here, I've just noticed some improvement.
Some improvements in just like, the short period of time.
Yeah.
Homelessness, tough topic to talk about, obviously. You don't want to offend people. But if you want to hear about tough topics about Colorado Springs, hey, subscribe to our channel. Give us a little like, a little thumbs up, all that good stuff. We just want to make sure you have all the information if you're considering a move to Colorado Springs, Pikes Peak area. Want to make sure you guys know the truth about what's really happening here. So homelessness, not the easiest thing to talk about. It can frustrate some people. We just want to let you know kind of in our day-to-day lives what it's like. So I think the big question then really comes down to, is it a hassle in your day-to-day life? Like we've established, hey, feel bad for homeless folks. There's a lot of programs, take advantage of them. A lot of people don't want to take advantage of them, so that's kind of sad to see. So just kind of as the general public living your life day to day, is it a hassle for you in Colorado Springs?
No, not really, no. I mean, like I said, I live in Colorado, so I have been woken up by a homeless person wailing in the middle of the night, for sure. But
I've not had this experience myself.
But no, it really is not a hassle. I mean, they're all the people that I've talked to, because I also have an alley behind my house, so sometimes a homeless person will walk back there while I'm taking out the trash or whatever, and talk, and it's definitely not a hassle.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say so.
I think that I don't know if it's a lot of people just maybe they're from an area where they just haven't experienced homeless people being around, so they kind of feel intimidated or just honestly kind of scared or unsafe with it. I definitely don't feel that way. Like I always say about every part of town, there's places you don't let your wife and kid go at 2 a.m. and walk around. So just knowing your surroundings, I think there's a couple homeless folks like right by our office, because our office is downtown Colorado Springs. I know Sam has given one of them a ride over to Acacia Park, and like you just try. They're people, they're members of society too, So my take, just be friendly to everybody, and probably everybody's going to be friendly back to you. Be smart about things, obviously, but man, like day to day, I don't feel the homeless population in Colorado Springs is any kind of hassle for sure. And I honestly don't feel, except for like there are certain areas where it can be kind of a visual blight, if you will, on the landscape. But it's not as if it's prevalent and you see it like everywhere you drive in Colorado Springs.
Right.
I just don't think it's that way. Like it's, I was recently in San Francisco, and that's a whole different story,
Yeah.
man. So I think a lot of people, you know, you hear articles or you just see people comment online about stuff, and you know, just I encourage people, if you're thinking about Colorado Springs, don't feel that it's like being overrun by homelessness, because not the case whatsoever.
Definitely not. No, it's really nice. I mean, I don't notice it that much, and I mean, like I said, the homeless people are really pretty friendly for the most part. I've never really had a bad experience with a homeless person here.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, guys, we've had a lot of comments about it, so we just wanted to address it. So that's homelessness in Colorado Springs. Any questions, anytime, of course, please definitely reach out. Call, text, email, hit us up in the comments, whatever is easiest for you guys. Look forward to talking to everybody soon.
Yeah, and as much as we love making these videos for you guys, we are licensed realtors here in Colorado Springs, and we are the guys answering the phones, responding to DMs. So if you have any questions about Colorado Springs, if you're considering moving here, definitely give us a call, shoot us a text, write a comment below, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.